Okay, guys, you're all very welcome to this online chat. We're just coming up very, very close to the 12th Underground Cinema Awards. So this is my office here. I'm busy behind the scenes trying to get everything ready for this Saturday. So as most of you know, we had our screenings back in 2009 interrupted by COVID. So we were screening in January, February, and into March. And then we got hit with the pandemic, and we had to make the decision then either to stop the season or continue on online. So we decided that we would go online. We stopped the screenings for just about two or 3 months, so we can actually get the website up and running and working properly and functional. So when we started screening in May, the figures went through the roof, to be honest with you. We were looking at thousands of people coming on every weekend watching the shorts. And also we did some interviews with some of you guys last year and some of you guys this year after the screenings. So to try and turn a negative into a positive, the whole online experience was fantastic. We were able to reach a much larger audience than we would at a live event. So we were able to talk to directors from all over the world. So it was a great opportunity just to meet new people and to keep in touch with everybody as well. So I think what you'll see is, moving forward, you're going to see collaborations. You're probably going to see hybrid festivals, so it'll be a mixture of the live event and that online experience as well. So like the figures, just to sort of give you an idea of the figures, most we hold an international film festival in September, and the figures for that for the 3 days of that festival were just over 10,000. If you look at the likes of Galway, when Galway had to go online and do their festival, I think the guys said it was roughly around 43,000 views. So like the figures are huge. So your films are reaching out to a much larger audience. So this year we've had 200. We screened between last year and this year. We screened 258 films. And the standard was absolutely excellent, and it's been a really difficult job trying to go through all these films because we watch every single second of them. So it's really difficult to try and go through all these films and to whittle them down to nominees for Grand Cinema Awards on Saturday. So well done to everybody here, and thanks a million for allowing us to screen your work. So normally when we do something online, we're chatting to people that are the filmmakers themselves, the directors and the producers in the main, but I'm delighted that we have some of the actors involved, some of the actors that have been nominated tonight online as well. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to quickly go around the room a little bit. So we've got Chris is here. Chris, you joined us there. That was last year, Chris, wasn't it? Can you tell us just a little bit about your film? Chris's film has been nominated for Best International Short Film. So maybe just give us a little an intro on your film there, Chris.
Sure. Our film is called Autumn Never Dies, and it was a sequel to a film that we did back in 2012. And it features 2 Glaswegian puppets, a monkey and an ostrich living together. And it's absurd, really, and it's just one of these films that we never thought would do a huge kind of festival tour, but it's actually done quite well and been in quite a few various countries and whatnot, and we're quite surprised at how far the Scottish humour kind of travels, because we're going to one just down the line that's going to be in South Korea. We just don't understand, what do the South Koreans see in this film? But it's just been phenomenal, like just where it's been screened. It's taken us by surprise.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed it, and you got the sense of humor in it. It was absolutely fantastic. I mean, tell us just about the making. I mean, your actors are playing. For those of you that haven't seen it, the actors are playing against puppets right the way through this, and these puppets are your typical Scottish Jack the Lad puppets. They're very real. The dialogue is excellent in this, Chris.
Yes, I would add crude to that as well. The pretty crude.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the Scottish sense of humor certainly comes through in it. I mean, the actors were superb in it, and your the guys that do the voiceovers for the puppets are fantastic as well. They really nail it.
Thank you. Yeah. Is that because I'm one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing because people kind of think how weird it is for the actors to act against puppets, but I suppose it's better than something that's not there, like maybe an animation, for example, where you're having to like act to dead space in a sense. But when you've actually got somebody there feeding you the lines as this character, I think it's actually it's like I said, it's absurd before. It really is because it, you have these two characters that are just literally puppets. Yeah, it comes together so well, and there's quite a good on-screen bond between the actors and the puppets, and it's just it's turned out really well.
Yeah, roughly, if you were to give me an idea, like how many takes would it take to get it right, to get some of those things right?
Oh well, I mean, for example, the sex scene, that was we were just in fits of laughter trying to film that, and it's just. I think that's the nice thing about comedies is, like it's a very nice, relaxed atmosphere. So even though we maybe are taking 2, 3, 4 takes, nobody's really kind of, what's the word? Actors aren't, getting fed up with the fact that they're having to do this over and over again. They're actually, enjoying having to do it a second, a third, fourth time because it is just such an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, well, it certainly oozes out of the screen. I can tell you that. So, look, well done on the nomination. It's fantastic, to get a nomination in an indie festival. Would have loved to have you over with us this year, Chris. We would have given you a big Irish welcome, but you just keep on making those films and send them in to us, and I'm sure we'll get you over to Ireland someday.
Sounds good. Yep.
Fantastic, and Chris, very well done to you as well. Fantastic.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Great.
And thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem, guys. No problem, guys. I'm just going to ask you if you wouldn't mind to leave the room, and you can go online and you can watch this live on Facebook there, and we'll just let a couple more people into the room.
Sure, no problem.
That's great. Thanks, Chris.
Cool. Cheers again.
Thanks, Emil. Okay. All right, let's have a chat with Baz. Hey, Baz, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm very good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. Listen, Baz is up for the Rising Star Award. That's quite a prestigious award that's quite a prestigious nomination, to be honest with you. There are 6 in the category this year. So what happens there in the Rising Star Award is we would, at the panel and myself we'd be looking very closely at a lot of new up and coming directors. And if we feel that there is, if they're going in the right direction, well, we like to give them a nod. So Baz has submitted 2 films into himself for the past 2 years. His first one was called Reflections, and the second one was called Marrow. And both really great films. And funny, Baz, I was looking at both of them again today. Because when we're looking at the nominees, we'd be watching them over and over again, and there's a really big difference between your first film and your second film. You can see that the production design is improving. The just the values are really, really good. You can just see that you're learning the craft really, really well. And your second film is a difficult one to shoot as well, because maybe you want to tell the guys a little bit about the film, Baz.
Yeah, well, Marrow is basically based on Irish mythology, on stories that my granddad used to tell me when I was a kid, about the mermaid that lived in the sea, that both intrigued me and terrified me in equal measures. So Marrow is more kind of a poetic movie. It's all about the music, and we wrote a narration poem to explain the story of the Marrow and the mermaid in the sea. And then we wrote a song in Irish, which the actress Anya, who's playing the Marrow, the mermaid, sings. in the actual film, and it was to display the kind of the beauty and the mythology of Ireland across the world, because sadly it's kind of something that's been forgotten through the internet and the fast-paced world, the old Irish storytelling. So it was to represent the stories that my granddad used to tell me and the heritage as well. But it was definitely tricky filming in the sea in October in the freezing cold. So there was a lot of blocking, and it was, nobody complained, which was amazing, and we got the job done. But definitely it made everything else that I've done since seem a walk in the park after filming in the water like that.
Yeah, and this film, everybody is up for Best Makeup Award. Like, the makeup on the mermaid is fantastic, Baz. It's a really good job that she did.
Yeah, and it was something that we talked a lot in depth, and we didn't want to end up looking like a Disney mermaid. And there was a lot of concept designs, and so we wanted to get the authentic feel that she has been in the water for over 100 years. And then there's the scary element that I wanted to bring in, that we felt as kids as what we imagined the mermaid might look, and then on the production design, like my wife, who actually is the cinematographer on it, MRA, she made and designed the full costume, so the mermaid's tail and the headpiece that she wears and stuff like that. So she was on the production side, and then all together it came together. It was tough, but we were pretty proud of on a low budget, what we achieved with it.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really well. Also, I thought the cinematography is really good. The grade is done really well. The colors are really looks really well on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, after reflection, we just took it into our own hands, that we bought our own equipment, and we established a production company, Sherlock Productions. So we bought our own equipment, and again, my wife, she did 5 years fine art degree, and part of that was DPing and editing. So she basically took over the whole lot of DPing it, and we just took it into our own hands, that we were able to control the edit and how it was going to look. And we just, as you go on as a filmmaker, if you're not learning lessons and you're not trying to improve yourself, then you might as well give up, So we just took the lessons that we learned from our early work and try to bring it into this and improve. And now we're in pre-production for our feature film, Dublin Crust, next year. So that's a massive undertaking. It's like a full-time job at the moment. So, but again, we've taken everything we've learned, and we're pumping it all into that.
Because a short film is a very different animal to a feature film.
100%.
Absolutely. Like, it's and a feature film, it'll take over about 3 years of your life.
Yeah,
you gotta be prepared for that, But you'll be well able for it, Baz. We're really impressed with the work that you've done so far.
It's
over the last 2 years. And we're really looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah, it's going to be a good night, and it's my birthday weekend as well, so there'll be a few drinks had.
Fantastic. All right, guys. Look, we're going to let you go. Again, if you wouldn't mind dropping out there, you can watch the rest live on Facebook there, YouTube, and we'll let a few more people in.
Okay, thanks a million. See you at the weekend.
Okay. Thanks, Baz. Okay, we have another rising star here today as well. So we've got Dave Thomas with us here today. Hey, Dave, how are you?
Good, thank you. Hello, everybody.
So we first met Dave 2 years ago when he joined us in Dunleary, and this was the second film, is that right, Dave, that you sent in to us, Aretha?
Aretha is the second film, yeah. The first one was a documentary, and so the second one is a drama. And the second one, the drama, was made possible because I won the Film Offaly Bursary Award, which was 10 grand. So having the 10 grand was like having 10 million, to shoot a film. And you think of all the things I could do with 10 grand, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and just scraping bits and pieces together to make it. But it was my second film, my first film to direct. Sorry, well, I directed a documentary, but there's a drama. It was all like completely different, directing, and wrote the script for it. So yeah, it was a baptism of fire, but it was a brilliant experience. And a fantastic cast and crew.
Yeah, like and then you go into Aretha, and then you can see. So you're going into um a different type of film. So you're going from documentary into a really really strong. Just letting Amy in here. A really really strong cast and a really really strong script, and the production values are really good. So and you managed to get some great actresses. Like you've got I mean Hilda Fay's in there, and Denise McCormick in there as well. Dave, tell everybody about this film, because no, it's a really really nice piece, but it's probably best coming from you.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Yeah, well, and when I wrote the screenplay in 2016, I had never seen a film before where the lead of the film was somebody with an intellectual disability, somebody that was a person with Down syndrome. And so there had been a bit of tokenism, I felt, say, in soap operas and that kind of thing, but never in a feature film, or sorry, in even a short film, any kind of a film, where they were able to hold the film as the lead. So I wrote the story of a young woman who's Aretha, who's 18 years of age, starting out in life, and she goes for her first job in a restaurant that she really wants to work there. But the manager, who's not a bad person, is played by the brilliant Connor Mullen. Uh, the manager doesn't see the ability of this young woman that's in front of him. He just sees straight away disability, problems. I'd have to like watch her 24/7. She wouldn't be able to do the work in the restaurant. She wouldn't be able to keep up with the other staff. So he dismisses her completely, wants her out. And but she's not taking taking no for an answer, and she basically takes the job herself, and that's where the story really kind of changes, and it's a bit of fun because she is determined, she is strong-willed, and she shows through the film that the ability that she has that he didn't see, and so there's a kind of a story arc for the manager, but also there's an incident in the film where she's bullied and assaulted, and made a fool of by these young lads, and that's the dramatic part of it as well. So the part was played by the wonderful Orla Casey, for our first real dramatic role. Though she had been in one short film before that, but this was a big, big thing. A lot of lines for her to learn. She was acting up, with Connor Mullen. Most of her scenes were with Connor and Denise McCormick and Hilda Fay. So it was incredible for her, incredible for me to see her in action. I met Orla in 2016 when I had hoped to make the film. As we all know, sometimes it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, and it took until 2019 to actually shoot the thing. So it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece, Dave. And I just thought the production values were really really good. What the camera that you used, Dave? What?
Dave, don't ask me. Don't ask me. It was 2019. I can't remember yesterday. Never mind with the camera. But we had Philip was the Philip Graham was our DOP, and he had all the gear, he had all the lenses and all the camera. So basically, what we did was, because we worked quite fast actually, and I said to Philip beforehand that I wanted to shoot quite fast, and my thing was kind of like do about 5 takes. And hopefully get it in the 5 takes, and it's kind of like move along, because we're shooting in a real restaurant, and we only had from 7 in the morning till 5 o'clock. So around 4:30, we had to basically take all our gear, everything, out of that restaurant, and we had to dress the restaurant back to the way they wanted it originally, because they're open just after 5 for the evening meals. And it's a beautiful restaurant, Sirocco's restaurant in Tullamore. So we had a major job of the camera, the lights, the microphone, everything had to come out, and then we had to go back at 7 in the morning to dress the whole thing again and try and match it up. So it was exactly the same as it had been, But again, it was just, I know we all kind of say this, it can be a bit of a cliche, but really this was a collaboration and a team effort, because it would never have happened without the people that were there, like Philip and all the actors and the first AD and Ian Adams and Dale and all the rest of the people, the props and so on, did just an incredible job. and they made my life really easy because, as I say, my first time to direct a drama, and it was the 4th of February, the Monday morning, and I walked onto the set, and it was the most relaxing thing ever because all the stress had happened the previous 7 days and all the sleepless nights had happened the previous 7 days, and then the Monday morning went in. It was like, oh, finally, here we are. Let's just do it. And it was a pure joy, absolute pure joy. The 4-day shoot, and it was just amazing.
Fantastic, Dave. Well, look, I really enjoyed it. It's great that you got 2 nominations this year. Denise McCormick's nominated Best Supporting Actress, and you're up for the Rising Star Award as well. So congratulations, Dave. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was looking at Baz there because I see he's for the Rising Star. I was trying to give him the evil eyes there, my competition, you know.
Yeah,
so,
he's been texting me there to say, listen, he just had to get out. It was too intense.
Listen, thanks very much, Dave, and
Dave.
congratulations to everybody.
Thanks, Dave. Right, Julian, we got Julian Woodward for with us. Hey, Julian, you're very welcome.
Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah, no problem, Julian. Listen, Julian's got a fantastic feature film that's been nominated this year. It's called One Summer When You Went Away. It's a really great piece, Julian. Well done. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Your actors are tremendous, and I think your lead actor is just superb and had me from start to finish.
Yeah, well, I wish Lawrence Elliker is called. So I think it's the first feature role that he's had. Chris Hopkin has he left the room? Has he, Dave?
He was there. Oh wait, hang on. He's had.
Hello, still here.
Yeah, so Chris and I have worked on it from the start. It started off as a story idea about 2015, but Chris and I kind of wrote it and rewrote it over a period of about 18 months. Shot it in 2017, so talk about a long time in production. It's been maybe 3-4 years to actually get the thing finished on no budget whatsoever. But the actors are incredible, yeah.
Yeah, really good. And how long did how long was the shoot, Julian?
12 days.
No way.
Yeah.
You did an incredible job to do that in 12 days.
With a few reshoots in November as well, wasn't there?
Yeah. And quite
Baz's
a few
story had a lot.
Yeah.
Baz's story had a lot of similarities, didn't it? Pushing actors into the cold sea in the winter months. We ended up having to redo that in there. No.
Julian, you're one of the writers, am I right?
Chris and I are co-writers on it, yeah.
Both. Give us a brief synopsis. Just give everyone just a brief synopsis on the film.
Chris?
Oh, Chris?
Yeah, happy to step in on this one. So it's a 20-something, maybe late teens lad who's trying to find his place in the world and his relationship with the world, and he's kind of at ends with it. So it's all framed within this summer where his mum goes away for the summer and leaves him alone, and his kind of crazy aunt from Scotland comes down and he meets this new girl, and he's got this kind of friend who may be magic or may not. There's kind of some surreal elements in there, so it's kind of really about finding yourself.
Very good. And it's festival run at the moment. How's it doing at the moment, Chris?
We're a bit of a good start, I feel, seeing as we've not had our first public premiere yet. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're in the Florence International Film Festival this week. We're in Sweden, start of December. We're having the public premiere in Hull at the end of next week. The film is set and shot in Hull and East Yorkshire. It's kind of like a pretty mixed cast, but actually one of the actors is from Ireland, Dave. Originally, Kenneth Maguni, who's Zimbabwe to Dublin. His family lives in Killarney, but he came to Hull for the City of Culture, and he's quite a key part of the film, kind of like a narrator type character. That was interesting listening to was it Chris earlier with the puppets, because we in the original drafts of the story we had some of the narration was done by puppets, but because of the limited budget that we had, we kind of rewrote it and brought in this character of Trey, who provides like a overarching story to it. So I think it's got some unusual elements to it. So if any success we've had on the festival circuit, like being doing our own stuff at home, but being here with you guys is incredible for us, because you just don't know. I'm sure everybody feels the same. You just don't know how people are going to react to your film. They're going to like it. Is it any good? What are the actors like? Does the story hang together? What's the soundtrack like? And actually, I think the thing does hang together. And part of that's the success of that is the score. We have a really good score. Joe Roper, kind of BBC credits to his name. Cannes Film Festival credits to his name. He's from Hull. He's actually got a what's his bread shop called, Chris? Is it Flower and Feast?
Flower and Feast. Yeah, lovely little bakery.
He's a baker, but he's a great photographer, all round kind of good guy. And he worked on the score with us for about 6 months. So things like that kind of add to it. And we're great. It's great that we're here with you guys, and it's we're surprised actually.
We really enjoyed it, Julian. You know, it's a fantastic piece of filmmaking. You know, it's a film that deserves a live audience as well, Julian. You know, I think it'd be great, you know, to sit in the theater. And most filmmakers, you know, certainly when I'm in a, if I worked or produced or directed anything, you know, I'd sit at the back and I'd just get that sort of reaction from the audience. You can tell if they're engrossed in it or not, you know. So that's what I suppose we miss about live cinema now at the moment. So
Chris and I were kind of listening. You know, we had a couple of screenings for cast and crew and investors and friends and family. Both Chris and I are kind of just sat at the back going, okay, well, they shouldn't be laughing there, and they're laughing there, and that's unexpected. And there's a couple, without giving any spoilers, there's kind of like a big twist about three quarters of the way through. And
very nervous how people take that.
Yeah.
Seems to go down okay.
we think it works, and I mean it's still going to cause a few controversies, but I don't know if you kind of if you had any thoughts on the twist in the film at the end, if you can remember.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I don't want to give anything away, Julian. No. So I get everybody to watch it. But you know, you said something there that's very valid. Here's a little quick story. I think about 10 years ago, we were doing a screening in Dunleary. We screen short film programs on a regular basis. So every month for 10 months of the year, we screen a program of short films. So we screen roughly about 150 films a year. I always remember this particular program. A short film was submitted into us. I really enjoyed it. We put it on in our venue. The place was packed because I think we were coming to the end of the season. That's when we're really busy. The place is packed. Everybody's in stitches watching the film. They absolutely loved it. And the guy came up to me, the director at the end of the film came up to me, and he said, he was just shocked. He said, "This wasn't a comedy. It was a straight film. It wasn't supposed to be funny. Like people were laughing from start to finish." And he stormed out and never saw the guy again. So
yeah, we had once with a short that Chris and I worked on together called the Bagpipe Maker's Baby, which is a kind of totally different fantasy film, probably closer to, was it Mero, the mermaid film that Baz did? It's a much more kind of mythical type story. We went to one screening and it was the similar kind of reaction. It's just like we thought, it was the only time though, but it was just like completely opposite of what we were hoping. But funny.
Yeah, that's why the live screenings are so important. So hopefully we'll all get back to normal pretty soon. But look, Julian, Chris, thanks a million for joining us tonight. It was great to chat.
Thank you.
We will have the awards live on Facebook, so you guys will be able to watch the ceremony on the night.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
I'll be there.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Right. Well, look who have we got here. We got Amy. Hey, Amy. How are you?
Sorry, I'm finding the unmute button. Hi, Dave.
Are you well?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Well, I'd say I'm just going to show you something here. Let's see if I can This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. Let's have a look at Amy.
Hey, Patsy.
Hey, Wanda.
Any movement on the dating scene?
Not yet, but what's for you won't pass you, huh?
That's just a little clip, Amy. Amy was in the Feel Good Film of the Year. Everything Looks Better in the Sunshine. And she's up for a nomination this year for Best Supporting Actress. So congratulations and well done. And it's great to have you along tonight with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for the clip as well.
Yeah, I thought I'd do something a little, just something small. It was a film. It was a film that I really, really enjoyed from start to finish. Just sort of ticked all the boxes for me. The production values were great. The performances were great. The script was really funny. The production values, the just all the colors, the costumes were great. The makeup was great. It was just a really, really great film, and I'd say it was great fun to work on, Amy. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it really was. You know, it's like as fun as it is to watch. That's exactly what it was like the whole time. It was just like there was nothing but fun to be had, really. And the script is written by Mark and Johnny, who directed it together as well. And it's just fully their personalities, and shot by Aidan Galt, who's just incredibly talented as well. And it's genuinely the most fun I've had on a film, on any set, because we're just laughing the whole time. Like there was nothing to do but laugh. And it's like, I think as well, it's a very unusual film, really, especially to find on the festival circuit. Like people aren't, I think it's very bold to do something that's just that feel good and happy. So yeah, no, it was absolutely amazing. Just fun and color. And
Amy, just give everybody, you're probably best at it, but give everyone just a brief idea what the story is about this particular film.
So it's about a man called Patsy, who's a lovable traffic warden in Limerick, and Patsy gets hit by a woman on a bike, and he loses his sense of smell, and he's going on a mission to find her with something of a sidekick, Wanda, who's me, and he's just ends up insulting and upsetting absolutely everybody he comes across. Sorry, he doesn't lose his sense of smell. He gets a heightened sense of smell. Yeah. And so he's just criticizing everybody because he's just picking up on how much everybody actually smells. And he can smell things that wouldn't usually be detectable to the human nose. So it's just like a lovable, it's a love story, zany adventure in Limerick. Does that sum it up well? Is that about right?
That's a really good one. You didn't once mention that you smelled of asparagus.
He did. Yeah.
Your character.
Yeah, he also says farts as well. So I just have to grin and bear that one. I don't think I smell like either, incidentally, but
well, look, it did. It looked like it was great fun to work on. You know, it's definitely it's up for a clatter of nominations. I can't remember. I think it's up for 8. You know, I mean, that's a fantastic sign. That everybody enjoyed every second of it. It's really good. I have no doubt that that's going to do really well, and on the rest of the festival circuit. When was it made, Amy? In 2019, was it?
2019, yeah, in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, definitely the feel-good film of our season, I think.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you liked it so much. It's designed to spread joy. So if that's what it's doing, then can only be grateful and happy that we achieved that. So thank you. I'm glad you liked it so much. Great.
Amy, well, I don't have anybody else coming in now at the moment, so if you want to hang around the room at the moment, there's no problem. But listen, well done. And I'm going to have a chat with another brilliant actor as well. So Jim is with us. Jim is in the short film called Unlucky, and Jim has been nominated for best supporting actor. But Jim, before we start, let's show a little clip of it.
But the good news is that here at the Off the Richter Clinic, we have excellent success rates. I mean, only last week we had a 46-year-old lesbian leave here with her own baby.
Well, Jim,
Yeah.
well done on your nomination, Jim. Absolutely great performance. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the film Unlucky. It's a lovely piece. It's a drama with a little bit of mix of comedy in there. It's the story of a young couple, and they are having difficulties trying to conceive. So the scene that Jim is in there, I think you're in two or three scenes, Jim. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about this issue that a lot of women face of endometriosis. Is the underlying story, and the couple are struggling to try and conceive, and it's a labour of love of our writer and director Orla McManus, and Orla asked of me, I think, this sort of quirky character, and the idea was, Dave, as you're saying, to sort of bring a little bit of levity, but also to highlight the frustration of the kind of people that sometimes, in real life, people have to deal with. So the character that I played was a guy who is so caught up in the science, he doesn't see the people. And I think, so all the humor was in the writing.
Yeah, and your Laura Reed is your lead actress there as well.
Yeah.
Laura's been nominated for Best Actress Award as well, and a lovely performance, Jim, from her. She's great right the way through it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to the point that my wife, each time she's seen the film, has cried. With the emotion. Laura is very powerful in it, and really gets the harrowing aspect of the story through. But it's got a uplift in it too. So it's not all, but it's the lovely balance between the real struggles that we face in life, and in real life we have funny moments, and in real life we deal with assholes like Dr. Richter, and so it's a lovely piece, and so much gotten into the it's only a short, but I think it's a very well-rounded story. We're very proud of it.
Well, actually, Jim, with the running time, this film is fantastic because the running time it's not a very long piece. I can't remember, it's about 12 minutes, or it's certainly under 15, I think.
Yeah.
And to try and tell that story in 15 minutes and get it right and bang on with some brilliant performances from both the lead actors and yourself. And indeed, I can't remember the supporting lady that they meet in the park. She was fantastic.
Emma Walsh, she's fantastic.
She's great. Like, everybody's great in it, and it's done so well, under 15 minutes, which is the magic sort of number for a film festival. And it is a top class short film. I recommend, if anybody hasn't seen this, try and get to see it at a festival. I'm sure it'll come online at some stage, Jim, but it is a lovely piece of filmmaking.
Yeah, thanks very much, and beautifully shot by David Christopher Lynch.
Absolutely,
so
it
really.
Some of the scenes, like, this is an actress film, I think, some of the scenes between the leads, where the frustration of not being able to conceive, it's done so well, and if anybody's ever been in a situation like that before, your heart sort of bleeds for these guys, so top class performances, really good.
Yeah, and Orla would be mad at me if I didn't mention Safi the cat, who has a nice role in it too.
Yeah, Safi even gets a credit at the end, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're delighted to be part of the Underground Cinema Awards, and really chuffed, and really looking forward to being up there on Saturday night.
Well, we can't wait to have you up, Jim. It's going to be a great night. I mean, we couldn't have the awards last year, so we're really looking forward to doing it this year. We're going to put it on in the biggest room in the hotel as well, so it's going to be a fantastic night. So, listen, Jim, thanks a million for joining. Jim, are you a Cork actor?
I am indeed, yeah.
Well, some of the best actors are coming from Cork.
Sure, yeah. We do our best.
Well, if you look at the likes of, you got your Shane Casey's doing fantastic now at the moment. You got Mark Colgan, is a brilliant director now over in Canada, working away. Sean Bratnock, brilliant director down there.
Yes.
I mean, you're catching up in Dublin with the filmmakers down there.
It's all part of the revolution.
You might overtake us, the Rebel County.
You're a good man. Cheers.
Okay, Jim. Fantastic. Thanks. Noel Brady.
Hello, Dave. How are you?
I'm great. Noel Brady. Noel Brady's been with us 12 years. Noel Brady was the first person that sent a film into us. His film Duality, short film, was the first film we ever screened at Underground Cinema all those years ago. We've been screening Noel's work ever since. He's sort of part of the family. So Noel has had 2 films in with us this year. I'm just going to show you a little clip because one of his actors, Rodrigo, has been nominated for Best Actor this year at the awards for the film The Weight of Time. So let's have a little clip.
2 years of your life. But what I did, what I took from that guy, from you that night, that's my life sentence.
Now, very short clip, Noel, but a very good performance. Tell us all about working with Rodrigo.
I knew Rodrigo from a good few years ago in the Attic Studio, which was a community of actors, writers, and directors who used to meet once a week. And then Rodrigo was on Mark's film previous, another short film I did called I Got Your Letter, John Barr. And working with Rodrigo was a pleasure, as was Cormac O'Brien, who plays Jason in the film. And we rehearsed. We rehearsed that particular scene you see there. We spent a couple of hours rehearsing that scene, and it in the film, and I'm sure other directors have had this as well. It called for Rodrigo to become very emotional, very upset, and after 6 or 7, 8 takes, that comes a bit wearing for actors to do. And I recall that when we were shooting it, he got a little tired, and there's a few techniques I've developed as a director that helps me get there faster with actors. I was working with Rodrigo, and he was just an emotionally intelligent actor. And we saw a little bit of that in Fair City when he had his story there, the abuse story, but his character is quite different in this film to the character in Fair City, for those who watch Fair City. And he's just brilliant to work with, very professional, and really, do you know what, listens. And it's funny, it's a listening game. I think actually, as a director, you need to be listening to your actors as much as they need to listen to you. It's not all about you talking and them just listening. But he was just perfect to work with. Never missed a beat. As was Cormac.
There hasn't been many films like this out there, to be honest with you. Tell the guys just a little, if you can give us a brief synopsis of the film.
Okay, well, this is a story about two gay men, and they fell in love a couple of years back. And one night there was an incident outside a nightclub, and there was a knifing, and one of the characters goes to jail for 2 years, who didn't actually commit the crime, and he gets freed from jail, and the other guy, who Rodrigo plays, is the one who did do the crime. And the dichotomy, I guess, is between the two characters, and one dealing with his guilt of letting his partner take the blame for this and the fall for this, and why his partner let him do it, and is there a way back? It's actually an old-fashioned love story, really, but it's coming in at a different angle. And I think I think when it comes to telling stories and directing and making films or anything, there's only a handful of stories to tell. And it's the angle that you choose to go in with that makes it different from the others. There's only like 7 stories really you can tell. So you choose what angle you go in with. And we went in with a really, I think, interesting angle that hasn't been seen too often. And it's funny, it's about a gay couple, and it's not about them being gay. Do you know what I mean? That's just by the by, which I really liked. This could equally happen to a straight couple. Yeah. That's not part of it. And that to me is a quality, truly quality, when why does it matter? Do you know what I mean? Two people love each other. And so we went in, and I remember having a conversation with Rodrigo as well, because I did some script editing. I didn't write it. Sorry, I'm surrounded by crap here, falling all over the place. I script edited it and kind of wrote little bits here and there, but I remember having this conversation with him. I don't want to give away too much. There's no twists or anything like that, but if I tell you the whole story, you won't enjoy it so much. But it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure to work on. Probably, I really enjoyed that shoot, and I don't often enjoy the shoots. You're so bloody stressed when it comes to shooting your films. You forget to enjoy yourself and try to have fun, and especially if you're the writer, producer, director, and everything else, you do get a bit stressed. But this one I really enjoyed, and it ran really smooth. And everybody was great. And Pat Nolan is in it too. Ali's in it as well. Brilliant, really, really strong cast. The four main actors are brilliant in it,
You know something, Noel? I was just thinking about it the other day. That could actually be a very good, one act play. You could actually, you can actually do that on stage. It's a very, it could be a very theatrical piece.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. It is. I wouldn't say it's dialogue driven, because I do use a lot of semiotics in it to tell a story. But certainly, I think you're absolutely right. I hadn't considered that, Dave. I think you're absolutely right, and it might be something I might mention to Rodrigo next time I'm talking. We can take it on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. I would sit down and have a look at it, and I think that there could be a really good play in there. A one act or two act play in there. So listen, if you want to commission me to start writing, I'll send you my rates.
Well, the check's in the post, okay?
Oh God, where have I heard that one before? Listen, Noel, thanks a million. I know you won't be there with us on the night. You're at another film festival, I believe.
Yeah, I'm over in the UK, and I have a feature film called Full Circle, and that's up for a few nominations, and The Way to Time is also up for a few nominations too. So he's also up for Best Lead Actor in the UK as well. So he's having a great time this weekend, So I think he will be at the nominations. He will be at the event that night, the awards night.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah. Do you know what? No, I think that clatter, that crash behind you, there are all the trophies falling off your shelves. The trophy you've won this year.
I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping.
All right, no.
We need a bigger boat, Dave.
Yeah. Well, Richard Keane, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Great to be here, and well done to everybody who's been nominated. It's fantastic.
Well, listen, I really enjoyed your film this year, Richard. And it was also shot in my hometown in Dunleary, so I enjoyed looking at the town. So Richard did a film called Chicken Out. It's a great piece of filmmaking. It's a really great comedy. Was this part of the competition from Dunleary Rathdown County Council? They were looking for a short film to be made in the borough.
Exactly, yeah, for the first frames. So yes, I think it's the second year that they were doing it.
That's right.
So we were all ready to go, and then COVID happened. So we were planning to shoot in April, and obviously we all got locked down in February, and then we were just waiting, and then in around October, in between October September, we had 3 days as the numbers started to go up, and we were looking. It's like, don't lock down. And then we just got in time, so we got it all done, and everyone was, tested, and fair play to them as well that they upped extra money for us for PPE and testing and all that type of stuff. So so it was really, really important for them. And Creative Ireland came in as well to help out. So yeah, it was really, really positive.
Fantastic, and the production values are very good in this film as well, Richard. It's very well made. The edit's really good in it as well, and your actors are all superb. And you managed to get Joe Rooney involved as well, which is great.
Well, yeah, it was a Father Ted reunion with Joe Rooney and Rose Henderson, both played, and Rose Henderson, who was the nun in who ate all the Easter eggs in Father Ted. So it was like a great reunion for everybody. And then we have our lead Barry, Dara O'Toole, who's now in Foundation, and same with Eleanor O'Brien. So it was a great cast, and then we had the baby as well. So it was so having a baby, like we had a chicken suit is hard enough. So sometimes don't work with animals or babies. But then we had the baby, and then it was a case of asking a friend who was like going, I had loads of friends leading up to it. So it was a production line of possible babies. But then when COVID happened, they were like, oh yeah, no problem. And then COVID happened, they were like, I'm not too sure. So luckily enough, managed to have a baby. It's like, we just need it for one day. We can get the shots in, just try to shoot around it and be as safe as possible. So yeah, it was awkward, but we made it happen.
Richard, tell everyone just briefly what this film is about.
Yeah, so Chicken Out, basically it's a cash-strapped dad who gets a job as a mascot in a chicken takeaway to make ends meet for his young family. But he's living with his mum, and who's incredibly overbearing with his young wife and a very newborn. And then basically he's taken us this mascot job in secret. And will his secret come out? Because he just needs money to fly the coop. And it slowly his world unravels around him, basically.
Yeah, and his performance is really, really good. Well, they're all great, but it is a standout performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Dara was just fantastic. He was just that hyped up because it was just that pure. He just didn't know what to do because he's fighting with his mother. He can't talk back to him, and his wife is trying to he just can't. He can't win basically. Yeah, throughout the whole thing. So sometimes it's easier just not to say anything, but that also then pisses everybody off as well. So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Tell me, how difficult was it when you were shooting? I mean, you were shooting through COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, what happened was so we shot over 3 days and was tight. And but I storyboarded basically the whole thing. So that my background is animation, so I just storyboarded the whole thing. So the first day we did over, I think it was like 45 setups. So we just flew through it. It was a case of going, I just knew exactly what we needed. We're shooting here. I've got that take. Next one. Take next one. And obviously then as well, because you'll see it as well, that you don't see anybody with masks as well. Those shot during COVID on the streets of Dún Laoghaire. We were working around people not, and we couldn't hold up traffic or anything like that. But you'll see nobody with masks in it, and it was done so there because we didn't want to make it a COVID case scenario. Yeah. So it's going to be universal and timeless, is what our hopes are.
One of the good things.
Just get in, get out, and that was one of the hardest things was actually trying to get a location like that because we had a place, and actually there was going to shoot in Dalkey. There was a little estate there, and it was an Airbnb we could get, and your man's like, absolutely, but I need to talk to the residents first because they're in this little gated community. And he goes, they actually call it Heaven's Waiting Room because they're all elderly people living there, and then this is what they call it themselves. And he went around and asked them, can we shoot there? And they were like, oh, no, there's going to be too many people around, and they want to be in their nice little cocoon. So we couldn't say anything. So, but we luckily enough found a place in Dundrum to shoot. But yeah, that was tricky as well.
One of the things that we noticed during COVID, the panel of judges noticed that the standard of the filmmaking had gone, in some cases gone through the roof with particular directors. So we would follow directors all the time. As I mentioned, we've been watching Noel for 12 years. So we like to see, if we see a director, we like to follow him and keep an eye on him and see how he's working. But right the way through COVID, what we could see is that in the edit, people were taking their time. So they weren't. What happens is, prior to COVID, a lot of people when they go into post production, they can race it, and they're racing it to try and get it ready for Galway, or they're racing it for trying to get it ready for the Dublin International Film Festival. So, and that's where you drop the ball sometimes, and you can see mistakes, schoolboy mistakes being made. This year, nobody was racing anything. Everybody was sort of taking their time in post production, and you can see it because the production values are very good, the sound is very good. The edit is very good. And if I was going to say anything good came out of this pandemic, is that people learn to take their time and not to race things. you know, so much work goes into making a film, and you're out in the streets, and it's very, very difficult. And then to mess it up in the edit by racing and trying to get it ready for a film festival is just not the thing to do, you know. So I think people have copped onto that, and I think the standard has just been superb this year, it really has. So well done, Richard. We all really enjoyed it. I got a great laugh at it. I thought the chicken costume was brilliant.
What's not like to like about a costume? Like a man in his chicken costume. It's funny straight away. I was like, once I heard the script from Imelda Carroll, I was like, yep, that's it. Absolutely. But thank you very much for the nomination.
Well done. Okay, Richard, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Unfortunately, I can't make Saturday. I'm away. But I'm going to be trying to tune in down in Cork for multiple 40th birthdays. But we have our own private cinema there, so I'm hoping to tune it in so we can see the awards down there.
Cool. Okay. All right, Richard. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay. Well, he's been here waiting for the past nearly an hour. I said I'll give him a shot. Craig, how you doing?
You were keeping me sweet, were you?
Let the guy away. Let him sweat.
How are you, Dave?
Yeah, I'm very good. Craig sent his work in to us 2 years ago. So Craig's film is called Three Brothers 2. And again, it's been nominated for a clatter of awards. So well done, Craig. Fantastic. And well done to your cast. Some of your cast are here. Marie's here. Hey, Marie. And Aaron is here as well. So listen, well done, Craig. Hey, tell us a little bit. Can you just tell everybody a little bit about the film?
Yeah, sure. It's very weird to still be talking about it 2 years on. It's not something that I would have anticipated when we shot it. It's over 2 years. August 2019. It's a short drama. If Sunshine is the feel-good movie of the festival, this is definitely the feel-bad. It's a tragedy, I suppose you could say. It surrounds the relationships between a group of friends and in the aftermath of one of them dying of a drug overdose. And it's all set in a small Irish village, so where everybody knows everything and everybody hears everything. So that's pretty much the crux of it.
You got a fantastic, really fantastic cast, and as I said, some of the guys are here with us. I know Graham's not with us here tonight, but here let's have a look at it. Let's have a quick look at Graham's performance. Graham has been nominated for Best Actor award. So
nobody gives a shit about your sorry, okay? It's bad enough that you were stupid enough to be snorting and popping everything that was put in front of you when everyone was warning you about it. Didn't I tell you? I told you to give it a rest on that shit.
And it's a fantastic performance as well, Craig.
Yeah, Graham actually sends his apologies. He was going to be here, but he got caught in work. He started a new job a couple of weeks ago, so he's a slave to their every demand. But yeah, no, he's incredible. They all are. All Graham, Marie, and Aaron are all fantastic. You work really well together, Marie and Aaron. I'm with Graham. The performances are fantastic. I just the first time I saw Graham was in his a feature film years ago called Harry, Hamlet and I, and he was absolutely incredible in that film, and he reminds me very much of our good friend Mo Dunford. I think the two of them are very, very similar actors. Also off the screen, you know, if you meet Mo or Graham, they're very personable. You know, they're very approachable. They're very easy to work with. Very, very professional. You know, and I see him going a long way. And I was delighted to see that. You know, when he got cast in Paddy Slattery's film Broken Law, because I thought himself and Tristan Haynu worked really, really well together, and I definitely think he has a very good career ahead of him over the next few years. So it was you cast him really well. Marie, you were acting alongside him. I mean, and you know he's a powerhouse performer, and you were well able to keep up with him. Here, let's have a quick look at it, Marie. Just one sec.
All that matters now is what's right and what's wrong. What, so you think you're right, is that it? All you're doing is going around looking for someone to blame. Driving a wedge between us when we should all be sticking together right now. What are you laughing at?
Very short and sweet, Marie. but a lovely performance.
Thanks very much, Dave. Yeah, no, Graham was a powerhouse. Is one word for it. He was brilliant. And Aaron as well. Like, I mean, this film was just put the joy into what you do, and it's funny because it is such a sad storyline, but it was just from start to finish, it was amazing. Like the cast, the whole crew, it was a pleasure to be a part of, and I am so honored. Thank you so much for the nomination.
It's a roller coaster ride of emotions when you're watching this film. Yes. You're up, you're down. Your heart does be thumping in some of the scenes. And Aaron, your performance, Aaron, was absolutely superb in the film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That scene in the church, you're not really saying that much, but you can just feel the stress, the worry, the whole audience is with you during that scene. You don't hardly say a word. It's fantastic.
Thanks very much, Dave. Yeah, it's when you're working with class, and I definitely put Graham into that category alongside Marie. But to have that type of personality and drive coming at you, it really allows you to feed off it and get to where you need to be with the character. So it was such a brilliant production to be involved in. I loved the script from the start. I had a meeting with Craig before we even got going, and I can't praise the guys, and I just loved it, every minute of it.
Yeah, you're right, Aaron, because my background is theatre. I'm a theatre actor and director. So when you have somebody like Graham, who's a powerhouse, directing the dialogue at you like that, you're going to give just as, if you're a good actor, you're going to give just as good back, and you can see it with yourself and Marie on the screen. You're every moment that you're on the screen, you're stealing it. So everybody's doing. It's not just Graham. It's everybody. I thought it was superb. I thought Craig. I thought the screenplay was excellent. I really enjoyed it. Now this film is longer than 15 minutes. It's a longer film, and this is a film
only a bit, not long.
What's the run of time, Craig? Is it 25?
29, 27. Yeah, the director's cuts next year.
Right, and that's a really difficult one. If you think about it, that's when a film festival gets a film in that's about 29 minutes long, that can be a headache. Because what a film festival is trying to do, or a programmer is trying to do, they're trying to get as much entertainment into a 1.5 or 2 hour program. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the audience the best value for money. And when a film comes in that's 29 minutes long or 30 minutes long, that's difficult. But if that script and if that film is really, really good, in my view, it should be screened. And that's when I saw that film, I said that has to be screened. I know it's 30 minutes long. I know it could get 2 shorts in there for the price of 1, but no, that's a really good piece. And the funny thing is, Craig, it doesn't feel like 29 minutes when you're watching it. It just doesn't feel like it. The storyline is so good, the performances are so good, and the ending is quite a tense ending, as well. You don't feel it. You don't feel it 29 mintes. It's great.
Yeah, the whole kind of thing about it was just to make sure that it was gathering momentum the whole time. The very first scene, which is the scene you just showed there in the church, that's the very first scene of the film. So we really kind of chuck people in, right in the middle of the drama, but then there's a brief pause after that scene, and then it's just constantly gathering speed the whole way up to the ending again. So that's part of the reason why I suppose the 29 minutes flies by.
Yeah. Marie, was there improvisation in some of your scenes?
There was, the scene out at the lake. Yeah. We stayed on course of where the scene was to start and finish. But yeah, a lot of that scene was improvised, and it was just throwing it at each other. And it was brilliant because like Graham just gives you so much. Like all you have to do is just work off it. Like, you know, it was kind of like once the technicalities were there where you kind of were like, okay, we need to start and finish and we could just play. And it was just, yeah, it was crazy, but it was brilliant. I loved it.
It's a great scene, you know. I was just sort of thinking to myself, you know, I would have loved to be on the set for that, you know, on the day to see that happen.
Yeah, there was a lot of people actually there that day.
I was, yeah.
Yeah, it was just because it's such a, there's a lot of cursing, it gets quite heightened, and you know, and we had to try and like steal away to like a corner because it was a gorgeous sunny day. Like we're all dressed in black suits and like coats and, you know, like funeral attire, and it was a gorgeous sunny day and people are out like swimming and, you know, kids, and we're trying to do this like, you know, when we get the best moment. But yeah.
Do you remember the heat wave August 2019, Dave? Yeah, we were shooting in the tail end of that, so we were down at probably the most popular swimming spot in Westmead. So just off camera in every single shot, there's like a family of 12 kind of just, you know, with their inflatables, you know, watching Graham and Marie tear absolute lumps out of each other.
Fantastic. Look, guys, I don't know what more I can say on it. I just loved it from start to finish. I thought it was fantastic, and
thank you.
Really, really well done. You know, it's an actress film really as well. You know, because just the dialogue and the you know, the script is really, really good. Like, just congratulations, well done. If the rest of you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, try it. What's happening next with it, Craig?
We're pretty much at the end now. After 2 years, we've done a quite a long journey actually. So it'll be up online soon enough.
Cool. Well, keep an eye out for it. When it goes online, we'll post it up on Facebook, and we'll make sure everybody watches it. So well done.
Thanks,
Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having you down in Larry. Fantastic. I see Jonathan French is here. Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Dave. How's the things, man?
Yeah, I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate that, Dave. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Listen, everybody, Jonathan has been nominated for a Best Actor Award. Hey, let's have a quick look at Jonathan. The film is I Am an Island, directed by Damien Draven.
Can't you hear the music? I'm trying. I'm really trying. But inside my heart's breaking.
Short and sweet, Jonathan, but you know it's a really, really nice film. I loved it. You always know that you're going to have a really good film when it's directed by Damien Draven. Now, Damien is he's a production designer, but he's also a brilliant director. You know, he's a really good flair. The opening scene in the film is really, really good. You know, I mean, his attention to detail is incredible. You know, he's just he's got a fantastic eye. So that opening scene in the film when you're in the kitchen, the camera moves very slowly across the kitchen table and then towards you. And the script, this script is really, really top notch. I thought it was a really good screenplay. And
Yeah,
again, your performance was superb.
Yeah, there was when we went through a few drafts, Dave. It was so airtight. That's the only way Damien wanted to film it. He wanted a really, really airtight script. So we went through all the protocols before he went through it. So we knew he wanted the script to be next to, you know, really, really tight for going, because we're filming on July 2020, just at the midst of the pandemic. So we knew everyone had to be well drilled and well oiled, as they say. So everyone had to be singing the same tune. So yeah, his attention to detail is phenomenal from Damien Draven. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I know this is a very personal film for him as well. You know, he's made no secrets about it. But the script and the storyline, because there's a slight twist in this script as well. You know, near the end of it. I mean, it must have been a great script to get, Jonathan, as an actor. You can.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, Dave. To be honest, because we at the start of the pandemic, like I was crying out for showreel material. So I asked him, "Do you want to write a scene?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's just write a random scene." So we had ideas thrown out back and forth, and I think he even had an idea with shooting a short film with a yellow Mustang because he was working on a shoot in Belfast. So then everything going on, we thought, no, that's not going to be realistic. So then he says, "Listen, I'm dealing with personal events happened to me in 2019. So let's pour everything into the script and let's make a very, very short, a short film, but with a twist at the end." So it explores the impact of a person suicide who leaves people left behind, but it's the impact of the person then dealing with this. So a character called Johnny lives in his own mind, really, and then it all unfolds as the film is told then by our actress, by Susie then. So yeah, it's you think you're starting off with a short romantic film, and then it just throws you into a complete world, and then it's a fucking it goes into a spiral, really, a downward spiral for sure.
You know what, Jonathan? It's the type of film that you know when you watch it the first time, you want to watch it again.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those films because you again because of the twist in the end of it. It's definitely and it's done so well. Like you're dealing with a very delicate subject. You know, suicide's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy one on the screen.
No, it was very demanding because it was a night shoot as well. So it was 2 days. We shot it just on the border of Wexford. So Damien wanted to shoot it to have that authentic feel. So it was a night shoot. So it was a shotless system for me as well to get my body clock used to a night shoot and have your dinner at 4 o'clock in the morning and your coffees at 6 o'clock. So it was a massive shoot to the system. But as you say, attention to detail. Damien, like it's phenomenal what he did with the script, like you know. And it's the fact that it's based on real life events through personal events from Damien itself, which makes it even more personal for him. And there was times during the film, like it was that heavy material. It feels so real. It felt so real around the set. It was like, Jesus, what are we doing? Like, you know, we're touching on suicide, we're touching on mental health, we're touching on a man that's absolutely crushing. So yeah, very delicate situation and subject for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can feel it when when you're watching it. You know, I mean, if that film was on in front of a live audience, you wouldn't hear a pin drop of the audience. I can tell you, it's so gripping.
Yeah, no, that's that. I've heard Damien tell me that before. They had a screening over in England at the Damien works at the Gangs of London. He's a graphic designer over there, and they did a screening for them, and that's exactly what happened at the end. There was not a pin drop, like you know, and then everyone come to terms with him because at the end it shows the statistics at the end of the suicide, and it's completely it's memorizing these statistics, like you know, like there's a very good one pops out. 16 people would have died by suicide during the duration of the film, which is a 12-minute film. So that's just absolutely crazy when you think of that. Like, you know, it's heartbreaking, really.
Everything about that film is superb. The other thing, you know, again, you know, Damien's attention to detail. You know, when you get people submitting their films in through to Film Freeway, that's where we do everything is on Film Freeway. It's a fantastic tool, really, for filmmakers and film festivals to look at all the films and adjudicate the films. And when somebody submits their film through Film Freeway to us, if somebody designs a really good poster, puts some director's notes on it, you know, gives us an idea of the cast and the crew, we'll read it, and they're probably the first films that we're going to watch are the ones that have gone into that much detail in their submission. And Damien's submission was fantastic. His post he's a brilliant, like he's a graphic designer as well. Yeah, his post is superb for the film as well, and all his previous films, and Noel knows him as well.
Yeah. No, it was an unbelievable experience in a weird way, because it was like you're dealing with such a delicate subject, and then you're dealing with Damien's events as well that he went through in personal events. So it was, I knew how much it meant to Damien to get the film right. So we kind of worked nearly 2 months prior to the shoot, and we started peeling off like the isolation, the mental health illness, post-traumatic distress, and we kind of aged our way in it and did the Zoom editions then with Susie, which is the lead actress. So we just kind of worked on that and we worked on that. But no, fair play to Damien. Like he did a really, really top-notch job.
Yeah. Well, look, Jonathan, I commend your performance. It's fantastic. A powerhouse performance. Well done. And I wish the film the very best of luck on the festival circuit.
Thanks
well
so
done.
much. Thank you.
Andy, I see you there. Andy, you've been there since the start of the evening. Were you there when Chris was there earlier on?
No, I couldn't get into the room when Chris was on, so he's probably taking all the credit for the film. So, you know, I'm used to that. Anytime me and Chris at a premiere of a film we've wrote, you know, they're always congratulating Chris. Well done, and they turn and look at me and look me up and down and change from their pockets. You know, I'm normally the quiet guy. Chris is always taking all the credit for films, you know.
Yeah, they didn't mention you at all. Guys, Andy is one of the writers on Autumn Never Dies. That was the one we were talking about earlier on with the puppets, the film that was shot in Scotland. So, Andy, well done. As I said to Chris earlier on, I really enjoyed the script. It's you don't really get many of those sort of films come into us.
Yeah, not very much. I was going to say, I'm sure any questions probably already asked Chris. Probably a filthy lie and stuff he's told you about everything, but you know.
No, well, it was 2 years ago when we screened it first, Andy. You know, so but it went down really well. I can remember when we did screen it, and we that was we screened it live. We managed to get that one live, and we did it again online. So it had gone down really well. So where is it now, Andy? Is it still being screened, or is it finished up now?
It's got another few festivals to go. I'm forgetting how many. Chris actually messaged me and saying one in Los Angeles delayed or whatnot, but I think there's only a handful left. We recently, I think maybe for the first or second time, saw it live at a film festival, the HB Film Festival in Glasgow. So that was the first time me or Chris had actually watched it live with an audience, which was really strange. Right. So everyone seemed to like it. So that was positive. But yeah, so it's only got a few. It's only got a few kind of festivals to go, and then I don't know what we'll do with it. Throw it in the bin or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out to do with it.
Well, it's the type of film after watching Craig's film and Damien's film that you'd want to watch afterwards to cheer yourself up afterwards.
We're always that's it.
If that came from anybody else, Dave, it would be a serious insult. But I'll let you away with it.
Guys, we've been online for just over nearly 1 hour 20 minutes. Thank you all so much for joining us. For you guys that are going to be with us on Saturday night, I can't wait to see you all live in the flesh again. It's going to be great to see some friends. For those of you who can't make it, we will do this online, so you'll be able to keep an eye on the award ceremony throughout the evening. So listen, thank you all very, very much for joining us tonight, and we'll catch you on the weekend.
Cool. Thanks so much, Dave.
Okay, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.